is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Ohio.
Trevor Bauer had Mariner bats sleepless in Seattle, pitching a gem in the Emerald City for the Indians' 6th straight win. The Tribe now sits 2.5 games up in the AL Central and will try to extend their win streak to 7 straight. Starting pitching has set the tone, and Cody Anderson steps in for Danny Salazar tonight. The Indians and the Mariners go head-to-head next on Sports Time Ohio. Another beautiful evening in the Pacific Northwest as the Indians continue their road trip. Game 2 of a 4-game series tonight at Safeco Field between the Tribe and the Seattle Mariners. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The Indians have won 6 in a row. How do you put together a 6-game win streak? Well, first of all, you've got to score some runs. The offense has been terrific. But the pitching, you can never overlook the pitching. And the Indians pitching staff has held the opposition to a batting average that's under 200, and their ERA during the 6-game win streak is under 2.
Well, the pitching has been outstanding, especially the starting pitching, but it all started with 2 walk-off wins, and the pitchers really started to tighten it down. And one time through the rotation, it's been everybody: Salazar, Carrasco, Kluber, Tomlin, and Bauer last night. It's been fun to watch. They've been very stingy. They've been scoring enough runs to win, and that's all it takes. You can see 10 walks, 31 strikeouts, a batting average of 218, a 4-0 record, 164 ERA. It's fun because there's friendly competition going out there now, and it seems like when they get the lead early, the pitching will take over.
Rick, Cody Anderson started the year, and it didn't look like the same Cody Anderson we had seen from a year ago. But the last time we saw him pitch in a ball game, it looked like something had changed for him. He looked like the guy we saw a year ago.
Well, he was part of that doubleheader that we took place in Chicago, and he did a great job. He threw 22 curveballs in that start and really mixed it up well. He had a career-high 9 strikeouts, mixed in his fastball. We know he has a great changeup. We're looking for the same thing from him tonight. If he watched the ball game and watched Trevor Bauer, that curveball was very effective to this Seattle lineup. We'll see if he follows suit tonight.
Another left-hander for the Mariners tonight as Wade Miley will get the start. We'll be back with the play-by-play coming up shortly. But first, when we return, Al and Jensen will join us from the studio. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. throw to the plate. He is safe. Swung out and missed with a curveball. Blew it by a strikeout number 8 for Bauer. It's gone. Back is Rajay Davis. He's at the wall and makes the catch. Swung out and missed. He struck him out, and the game is over. All right, welcome into Safeco Field here in Seattle. Mariners taking the field. Indians trying to run their win streak to 7 in a row and move to 8 games over 500. Actually, they are 8 games over 500 as we speak at 32 and 24. And let's go downstairs to Andre Knott, who's standing by. Rajay Davis, man, over the last 2.5 weeks, he's been a difference maker.
He's been a difference maker. We've talked so much about the impact of Mike Napoli and what he's done for this clubhouse and for this roster. But Rajay, in his own way, has made a difference. Yeah, he's got 6 home runs, 13 stolen bases, and 24 RBI. But in talking to his teammates, they just love that he shows up every day. He's got that smile on his face, and he's willing to play and do whatever's asked of him. Whether it's playing left field, whether it's batting ninth, whether it's batting first, he's always got the same attitude. And talking to Terry Francona, having a guy like that helps when you're on these long trips and you've had to move guys around, and they appreciate what he's done, not only in the clubhouse, but what he does when the game starts. They look for him to do it again tonight as he's in the leadoff role.
You know, I love it because this guy, when he walks into the clubhouse, he's all business. You come in, hey, I'm in my office, let's go. And he has the great attitude, and I can see why he fits in so well.
He's what you call a good teammate.
Yeah, very good teammate.
Do what you need, do what's asked.
Yes.
Accountable, ready to go. And the Indians are tonight. The starting lineup for Terry Francona, brought to you by Progressive. Rajay will lead it off. Then Jason Kipnis, who's been picking up the pace of late as well. Francisco Lindor will bat third. Then it's Mike Napoli, Carlos Santana, and Jose Ramirez. Yan Gomes will catch tonight in bat 7th. Juan Uribe hitting 8th, and Lonnie Chisenhall gets the start in right field, batting 9th.
And tonight's Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher is going to be Wade Miley. Miley, in his last start, that was the game they played against the San Diego Padres, where he pitched 4 2/3, gave up the 12 hits and the 9 runs. That was the comeback for the Mariners in that 12-2 deficit. They ended up winning the ball game. So he's going to want to acquit himself on this start here. The Indians did beat him earlier this year.
And we're underway as Miley throws a first pitch strike.
Control pitcher, sinker, slider, changeup.
One ball, one strike. Rajay 2 for 4 last night with a single and a home run. Pops this one up on the infield. Foul territory. Dae-Ho Lee will make the grab in foul ground for out number 1.
Well, let's check that defense behind Miley tonight. It looks like this. In left field, it's going to be Smith. Aoki is in center. Cruz over in right. Seager at third. O'Malley at short. Canoa's at second. Lee at first. Clevenger doing the catching.
Bill Welke has the plate tonight. Mike McClinsky at first. Crew chief John Hirschbeck at second. And DJ Rayburn down at third. Jason Kipnis looks at a ball in the dirt. 76 degrees at game time, and clouds have rolled in. Kipnis fouls it off to the left. Beautiful day here in Seattle. Supposed to be beautiful again tomorrow, but then on Thursday, a change in the weather as the high will only be 67 degrees. Now the 1-1. In tight. Did it hit him? Got the bat.
Yeah, a little foul ball, I believe.
Got the bat for a foul, and it's 1-2. Might have got a piece of the umpire as well.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. That's why he didn't signal like it was a foul ball. It jumped up and bit him in the back of the leg. Yeah, so it is a 1-2 count, correct.
Jason 0 for 3 with a walk last night. That's in the dirt. Over his last 26 games, Kipnis batting at a .280 clip, but 14 runs scored, 15 runs driven in. Weekly tap toward the third baseman, Seager, with that shift on. And there are 2 down in the first. Keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Get to Miley early. He's allowed 13 first inning runs, the most runs he's allowed in any inning that he has pitched this year. And for Cody Anderson, the curveball as his secondary pitch. We'll have more on that when he takes the mound.
Yes, want to see that curveball from Cody again tonight.
Francisco Lindor hitless last night in 4 trips to the plate. And he takes a strike. Miley looks sharp here at the outset.
Well, when you're coming off a start like he had in his last one, you really want to come out here. You want to be aggressive and you want to get through that first inning. 1, 2, 3.
Well, Rick, both pitchers have a tough act to follow. Last night's ball game, the two teams accounted for 5 hits apiece. There were 2 walks and 27 strikeouts combined.
Yeah, it was a well-pitched game on both sides, no question about it.
Bauer was just better than what Seattle had to offer.
Yeah.
Simple as that. The 1-2 chopped up the middle. Cano from the shortstop side of the bag throws out Lindor, and the Indians go 1, 2, 3. Now the Mariners come to bat when we come back. Lineup for manager Scott Service tonight. Nori Aoki will lead it off. Then it's Seth Smith, followed by Robinson Cano. Nelson Cruz will bat cleanup. Kyle Seager hitting 5th. Daeho Lee bats 6th. Then it's Adam Lynn, Steve Clevenger, and Sean O'Malley will bat 9th.
The Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Indians is going to be Cody Anderson, the 25-year-older, making his 8th start and 9th appearance this year. His last start coming against the White Sox, May 23rd. It was in that doubleheader where he pitched a dandy. 7 innings, 5 hits, just 1 run allowed, didn't walk anybody, struck out a career-high 9. Getting called up for the 1 start here, pushing Salazar back to the weekend.
And Aoki looks at a first pitch strike. Cody Anderson with a good fastball, changeup. The curveball is something that we have seen him have success with. Now, his 2 best starts of the year both came against the White Sox. His first start and the last one he made in the big leagues. Rick, in those 2 starts, he used the highest percentage of curveballs of any starts this year, and he's had his best 2 starts.
Wasn't it 22 curveballs I think he threw in his last start with the White Sox? But I mean, he took them off everything else and really commanded his pitches beautifully.
Aoki out of that open stance, but he'll look to slap it the other way. Turns on the fastball and a great backhanded stop by Napoli.
Beautiful play.
Terrific defensive gem by Napoli. Takes a hit away from Aoki, 1 down.
Well, this is going into the hole for a base hit. Mike going to his right on the backhand side, gets up quickly and leads Anderson to the bag. That's really a nice play when you're starting out the bottom of the first inning. You can get that leadoff man and get him out, keep him off the bases. That's well done.
That'll bring up Seth Smith. He was 0 for 4 last night, but he hit the ball hard a couple of times, deep to the outfield. One to deep left and one to deep center in the 8th inning that was oh so very close to going out of here. But Rajai Davis made the catch right in front of the wall.
Yeah, you know, Smith really didn't have much to show last night, but the line drive back in the 3rd inning that Ramirez made a nice play, and then 2 to the wall. And you go back with an 0 for 4.
There's a curveball, but it misses a little high. 2 balls, no strikes. The Indians begin the night 4 games up in the loss column over Kansas City, Chicago, and Detroit. Rip to right, deep right, down the line, off the top of the wall. Chisenhall plays it well, fires it into second base, but it's a little bit offline, and Smith beats the tag. Lindor points to the dugout. He thinks he caught him.
Absolutely right. I noticed that. Lindor felt he got him before that foot got in. He looked in at Tito and says, He was pointing, so I would assume he means let's go, let's check it out. Tito's going to wait and take another look at it and see what happens, because it is the 1st inning. It just misses going out. And Chisenhall had plenty of time. The throw took him a little off the bag, and it's tough to see for us.
Well, Terry's going to have a challenge here.
Here's a better angle. And, well, I can't tell from that angle either.
Let's see if this one gives us a better look. I don't know.
Well, he got him on the back foot. He didn't get his front foot from that angle. That showed me that he touched the back foot. Now, did he touch it before the front foot hit the base?
I think the real question, Rick, is did the glove catch the calf on that lead leg? So it would be the right leg. Did he catch the calf?
That could be.
I think he did. You see the glove move?
Yes, I did. You could see it right there.
Terry Francona's clapping his hands because he's looking at the big board here in the stadium.
Exactly.
And they had a really good tight shot. And I'm guessing that's the one Mike Barnett saw in the clubhouse, and he radioed ahead and said, go ahead and challenge this.
Well, that must be why Lindor jumped up early and said, I got him, because he knows he got the front leg. He's out. That's it.
Like that.
You know what? When your players give you that, you know, they don't get emotional, and you know you got him, you almost have to check it out. He did, and it was overturned, and well done. There it is right here. You're going to see where he touches that leg. Watch the glove.
Right there is the contact.
So give another assist to Chisenhall.
Yeah, Lonnie made a terrific throw, but you really have to give a lot of credit to Lindor, because he was on the other side of the bag, had to spin back and leap toward the runner to get that tag on him. So now two down.
We were talking with Barney and Atch, and they gone, well, what, 5 games where they didn't have a review? And what happens today once you get on them?
Right out of the gate.
Right out of the chute, the second hitter of the game.
Well, they've done a nice job, you know, with the replays and the challenges.
Well, that was worth the risk right there. So now nobody in scoring position, and they still keep their challenge.
That's 21 challenges for the Indians, 12 overturned. And they're well above the league average, which sits at 45% on the overturned reviews.
It's amazing, isn't it?
But as you said, Rick, you can't have your players overreacting and getting emotional. They have to know if they're going to point to the dugout. You got to.
Well, you know, you're the manager, and if you're Tito, you know, you talk to him and you say, hey, look, because you think you're safe, you better know it. You know, if I'm going to go out and make a challenge, and of course, you still want to look at the replays that your guys are looking at before you really make a decision. But if they buy into it and they're real about it, you should be better.
The 2-2 to Cano, swung out and missed.
Nice
he got a piece of it. He just did get a piece of it, and he'll stay alive.
Really nice change up here. as it's going away and just didn't stick. That's when there's nothing you can do as a catcher. A lot of times it just sticks in there, but this one just happened to come out.
And that time couldn't get him to chase after it. So a full count. Cano, third in the American League with 16 homers, second with the 48 runs batted in. Now 3-2. And a base hit into right field.
Let's check out that Indians defense, brought to you by Jeep. Ramirez left, Davis center, Chisenhall right. Uribe at third, Lindor at short, Kip at second, Napoli at first, and Gomes doing the catching.
And that will bring up Nelson Cruz, who was 1 for 4 with a double last night. The splits for Nelson Cruz are really contrasting when you consider he's starting in right field tonight. In the 32 games he started as the DH this year, he's hitting .348 with 10 homers. In the 24 games in right field, .215 average, only 3 home runs. But he belts this one deep to left and gone. Well, Nelson Cruz with a 2-out, 2-run homer. A ball that was absolutely tattooed, and the Mariners take a 2-0 lead.
Well, if Cody's going to throw that fastball, he better locate it. I mean, you have to throw the fastball, but I want to see the location, and we'll check it out on our Nissan pitch tracker. But this is a team. Oh yeah, that one leaked over the middle part of the plate. Too good of a hitter right there. That is 117 2-out RBIs now for the Mariners. They are second in the league, trailing Boston only to 120. So he did some damage. They got the break with the overturned call.
Seattle's 83rd home run. They started the night 3rd in the majors in home runs.
They're behind Tampa and then Baltimore.
And again, this isn't a home run friendly park, even though they have moved the fences in. But this is a team that's got some power with Cano, Cruz, and this guy, Kyle Seager.
Cruz hit his 14th.
Seager has 10 home runs, but he also has 15 doubles, couple of triples. I think with Seager's emergence, it really gives Seattle as good a 3-4-5 in the lineup. You can match those guys up with just about anybody.
Well, they're off to a very good start this year. They're all good hitters, and you know Cano, you know Cruz, and even Seager. They search that fastball. So when you're going to attack those guys, you better locate it.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the first, and Seattle out to a 2-0 lead.
That was the 11th home run given up by Cody this year in just 40 innings of work.
Strike 3 called, inning over. But the Mariners get on the board first in the first with a 2-out, 2-run homer from Nelson Cruz. And we'll see if the Indians can come from behind once again here tonight. Indians down a couple quick. Mike Napoli will lead it off. Mike Napoli has 14 home runs on the year. If he gets 3 more, which you assume he will, maybe before this road trip's over, that'll give him 9 consecutive years of hitting at least 17 home runs. That's pretty steady as she goes. Deep right. Back goes Cruz.
Like
he was playing
swing.
shallow.
And
that's going to short hop the wall.
Yeah,
And going to hold him to a long single, and that ball went all the way to third base. So if he'd have kept going, he might have been able to get in there safely because Cruz overshot everybody.
Yeah, but when you're rounded first, you anticipate he's going to make a good throw, so you hold up. But I like that swing by Mike Napoli right there, driving the ball to right field when he was ahead in the count.
Yep.
You know, that's a beautiful swing, a line drive over the head of Cruz, and it may only be a single, but it is a pretty swing right there. So back come the Indians. Get their first hit.
Not Carlos Santana. Santana last night had 2 base hits.
To me, that is a key for Wade Miley to try and throw strike 1. He fell behind Napoli. That's where the Indians hitters are just going to have to be patient and make sure, because when he gets ahead of you, then he nibbles and he doesn't like to throw a strike until he has to.
Evens the count 1-1. Santana, always a patient hitter, 6th in the league with 33 walks. And that one dipped low, 2-1. Back to even it up. Hit to third. Seager goes to second. There's one. On to first, a double play. Well, with that shift on, they really had that covered. The left side of the infield was covered with Seager able to guard the line because they had everybody shifted over that way. The injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. We won't see Joe Smith, our old pal with the Angels, put on the DL with a left hamstring injury. Jose Ramirez taking a strike. Indians will head down the coast to Anaheim for the weekend. And 2 quick strikes now to Jose Ramirez. 1 for 4, doubled and scored last night. He's one of the hardest guys to strike out in the American League so far this year.
You know, for me, he's been able to lay off a lot of off-speed pitches that are down in the zone. They're like chase pitches, and he's been able to lay off a lot of them to stay in the at-bats.
Hammered but foul. Wow, he hit that a ton, didn't he?
Yeah, he sure did. Had the barrel head of the bat out in front there. He pulled the string on him, but he was a little bit out front, but hit it well.
Even that pitch at 92 was up out of the strike zone. He still got the bat to it to stay alive. Yeah, that one nailed him on the leg.
sparking a little bit.
Yeah, out comes Terry Francona with trainer James Quinlan.
Boy, oh boy,
Not
I
sure
don't
where
know if
it got him.
It might have gotten him right on the shin, because you don't stay down that long in pain if it doesn't get right on the bone. Let's see.
Wow, looked like maybe the inside part of that leg.
Ankle maybe. Oh yeah, right off the top of it. Top of the foot. Love them those trainers straight out here. Let me see. Let me move this. Well, that hurts, Doc.
Does this tickle?
It's just these guys got to let the pain subside. He'll be up hobbling in a little bit, and I'm sure he'll stay in, unless it just hit the wrong spot. Yeah, right off the top of the foot, right where you lace up your shoes.
Yeah, like right by the ankle too.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a lot of meat down there.
No, but this is a guy they need to stay in that lineup. They don't need him coming out because of a foul ball up the foot.
That's not a good sign that it's taken this long for it to subside. Usually these guys can shake it off pretty quick.
He's going to hobble around for a little bit. They'll give him as much time as he needs, but yeah, you don't see people hobbling around this long though. See, now there he is.
He's having trouble putting any weight on it at all.
Yeah.
That's it. He's going to take the rest of the night off? No. Is he going back to the box?
Yeah,
Yep.
he is. Tito says, "You all right?" And he didn't understand what Tito said. Tito said, "Fine, you're still in there." No, he's
all
fine.
right.
You just need some time. That's it. It's going to be sore, no question. They'll throw some tape on it, put a compression pack on there, keep it down, the swelling down.
In the meantime, it's still a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, now he's got to run. Go figure.
Miley throws him out, and that will end the inning. Middle of the second, Seattle 2, Cleveland nothing.
With the MLB.com at-bat app, you can stay connected all season with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Bottom of the second inning, Dae-Ho Lee will lead it off. Takes low and away, ball 1. Lee will turn 34 years old 2 weeks from today. South Korean native. He played 11 years professionally in the Korean Baseball League and then 4 years in Japan. Two and two the count. He's a guy that has good power, but not much else, it seems.
Yeah. Look at his numbers. No doubles, no triples. Of course, he's not a base stealer. He seems like he's all or nothing. 8 home runs, 20 ribbies. He is hitting for a good average, 29 hits in his 95
Second
at-bats.
foul ball that's nailed an Indians player. This one got Yan Gomes pretty good. And out comes James Quinlan again with Terry Francona. Wow, are you kidding me? I mean, this is in the span of about 5 minutes. 2 Indians players dropped by foul balls. Seattle out to a 2-0 lead on a first inning. 2-out, 2-run homer by Nelson Cruz, as we'll take another look here.
Oh, well, this is like what happened back in Cleveland when we were there. That umpire that we had in that one game hit twice and had to, you know, take a spell and a breather both times. There's absolutely nothing you could do there.
The Indians came into this game having won 6 in a row. Seattle has lost 4 straight. Mariners, though, just 4 games back at Texas in the AL West. And they've got a 4-game lead on Houston. Yeah, Astros are playing Texas.
Yeah, well, Texas took the lead in the bottom of the 8th, 4-2. That game is heading to the 9th down there in Arlington.
Speaking of that, the Detroit Tigers were down 2-0 going into the bottom of the 9th at home against Toronto. They rallied for 2 to tie it. Ian Kinsler with a walk-off knock in the 10th to win it for the Tigers, as Detroit gets 2 games over 500 now at 30-28. Yeah, and they've won 5 in a row.
Yeah, they've battled back. They're playing much better. And there you'll see
Kansas City got pounded by Baltimore. Well, Chris Jimenez has his gear on, and it looks like he's coming into the ball game.
Well, he is suited up, no doubt, and he's coming out of the. At least he'll keep Cody Anderson loose until a decision is made on Gomes.
Now Bill Welke saying, hold on a second. I don't know if he's he might not be allowed to go out there and warm up the pitcher until they make a decision. At least that appears to be what Welke told him. Gomes is going to call it a night, I think.
I think you're right. This time, yes. He is going to call it a night.
That's awful. I mean,
well, it certainly is. There's not much you can do about it. That's all about playing that position. But I think that's smart. Get him out and see how he's going to be feeling here. So Jimenez will be coming into the ball game.
And he'll get a few tosses to get himself loose. Interesting that before this half inning began, Chris actually came out and warmed up Cody Anderson, but he didn't have all the gear on. He just, as catchers do, the backup will go out and warm up the pitcher until the starter's ready. And Gomes had been, I think he was the on-deck hitter when Ramirez grounded out to end the inning, so he had to go back in, put all his gear on.
Well, he wanted to make a throw to second base, that's all, and say, okay, I'm loose, let's go. Doesn't take a Rolls Royce long to warm up.
Well, a 2-ball, 2-strike count. With nobody out here, bottom of the second inning. And Lee fouls a good fastball back. Man, strange start to this one. Late swing, fouls it off. Fouled one off his foot. He's fouling off everything.
Yeah.
Ball missed in off the plate in a full count. Swung out and missed. Good changeup, strikes him out. Back-to-back Ks for Cody Anderson, one away here in the second inning. Well, Cody Anderson going up against this good fastball hitting lineup for Seattle. Let's go down to Andre. How does that match up for his strengths?
Well, Chris Jimenez said last night and talking today about just what went on with Trevor Bauer. He says because they're such a great fastball hitting team, you got to change the eye levels and you got to throw off speed stuff to them because they sit on fastballs. And he said, you know, that was basically what he said Cody Anderson has to do. He has to change the eye level, has to pitch inside, but you have to throw good off speed pitches to beat this team.
Yeah, locate that fastball. The thing that Trevor Bauer was so good with last night was the movement on his fastball. Cody Anderson's is pretty straight. He's not going to get the movement that Bauer has, so he's going to have to locate it and, as you say, change the eye levels very well.
The ironic thing is the home run that Nelson Cruz hit was a fastball that was moving. He started it off the plate and it ran right back into the middle.
Yeah, should have stayed off the plate.
Yeah. Sometimes movement can be a bad thing. You know, you don't want it to move into the middle of the dish. Look, throwing a baseball isn't an exact science. Sometimes you let it go and you don't intend for it to maybe do the things it does.
You can throw pitches right down the middle. Sometimes they get popped up.
Yeah.
You know, they go for easy outs when you think, oh my gosh, they're going to get crushed. You may make a good pitch and sometimes a hitter will hit it and it may go out and you'll think, I just made a good pitch and he hit it out of the ballpark. It's a weird game.
Swinging a foul tip in and out of the glove of Jimenez.
You know, a lot of times people say anytime a ball gets hit out of the ballpark, it's a hanging breaking ball, or it's a hanging this, or it's a hanging that. But you know, you got to give hitters credit too. Sometimes they may be looking for certain pitches.
Well, that's like pitchers. I mean, no pitcher goes up there and says, "I'm going to throw this one right down the middle." But sometimes that's where it ends up. You know. Full count.
Well, and another thing that I don't like early in this game is that Cody's going deep to a lot of hitters in at-bats, and he's much better when you get aggressive hitters and they make outs on 3 pitches or less.
High pop foul. Can Uribe get there? Yes, he does. 2 down. Our great clip of the game from last night featuring Trevor Bauer, who went 7 2/3. Gave up 1 run on 5 hits. He walked 1, but that was really an intentional walk, and struck out 10.
Yeah, when you look at the movement and the location that Bauer had last night and the change in the eye level and going in and out and up and down, and he can throw his pitches to both parts of the plate, he really carved up that lineup.
And on the other side, James Paxton went 6 innings. He struck out 10 and walked 1.
Yeah.
And was throwing 98 to 100 miles an hour at times.
Yeah, we did see some triple digits last night on the gun.
Here is Steve Clevenger. Fouling it out of play, 1-1. Swung through it. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. the air to left. Jose Ramirez back a few. And the Mariners go 1-2-3. After 2, it's Seattle 2, Cleveland nothing.
Just $10 for kids 12 and under with the purchase of an adult ticket. And kids tickets are located in the Family Deck at Progressive Field, home to the expanded Kids Clubhouse. And you can get those tickets at Indians.com.
Bottom third of the Indians order here in the 3rd inning. And it will be Chris Jimenez to lead it off. One ball, one strike. Back that one got Bill Welke. Tell you what, if you're anywhere near home plate tonight, beware. The ball has eyes, and it's been drilling people left and right.
You're absolutely right here early in this game.
Strike 3 called. First K for Wade Miley, 1 down here in the 3rd inning.
Miley, his 50th strikeout this year, and he just located that ball beautifully on the inner edge. Couldn't pull the trigger, so he will go down as out number 1 here in the 3rd.
Juan Uribe trying to snap an 0 for 10. Takes a strike on the outside edge. So Miley working it in and out here in the early going well, changing speeds effectively.
You know, they score a lot of runs with Miley on the mound.
High fly ball, deep center. Back is Aoki, still going back, and makes the grab on the warning track. 2 down. Our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball features Jose Fernandez, who beat the Mets 1-0 on Sunday, and his career record at home in 33 starts at the Marlins' new ballpark, 23-1 with a 1.53 ERA.
How about that?
Two down for Lonnie Chisenhall, and he goes down after a pitch but comes up empty. Lonnie, over his last 13 games, batting .359 with 7 runs scored and 6 driven in. Missed inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Right down the pipe.
Pulls it foul. Despite the fact that the Indians are down early, out of their 32 wins, they do have a dozen come from behind wins this year. And Lonnie finds one to deep left field. Back goes Smith. It's over his head. Now a bang up against the wall. And Lonnie will go in easily with a 2-out double. And that's the 8th 2-bagger of the year for Chisenhall. And the Indians will have a runner in scoring position now for Rajai Davis.
Well, if you look at it, that's the first time through the lineup. They're 2 for 9, and both the hits, the hitters went the other way. Napoli hit a ball, went off the wall. Chisenhall stayed on it and went the other way. We'll see if maybe they can make a little adjustment this time through the lineup. Nice swing by Lonnie, his 8th double, but they're going to have to do it with 2 outs here.
Well, they've got one of the top hitters in the American League with runners in scoring position at the plate. Rajai batting .366 in these situations. That's 8th best in the American League. And you go back to the homestand, and the Indians did a really good job in these situations with 2 outs.
You know, usually when you're scoring a lot of runs, when you're up around the 5-run mark, you're going to get some big 2-out base hits. You're going to keep innings going. You don't mess around, and that's all part of it.
Right field, back goes Cruz and makes the catch. Indians threaten, they do not score. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd, 2-0 Seattle. Enjoy a cold one to stay tuned. Later in the game for Miller time. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. Here at Safeco Field, Mariners with a 2-0 lead. Bottom of the 3rd inning, and Sean O'Malley will lead it off. O'Malley was not in the original starting lineup. Ketel Marte, who came off the DL yesterday and got the start and had a base hit. He was in the original starting lineup, but he was a late scratch with neck spasms. And so O'Malley got the call. Missed inside. Fastball spinning him out of the way. 1-2. Strike 3 call. O'Malley out admiring. 3rd strikeout for Cody Anderson. 1 gone here in the 3rd.
make this our Circle K strikeout. Comes back with a good curveball and sort of locks up O'Malley. Doesn't swing. It's right there. 2 strikes. You can't get caught looking. He did. Out number 1.
And Nori Aoki to the plate, the leadoff man who grounded out his first time up. He had 2 hits last night. He's picked up a knock in 12 of his last 16 games played. Out of play, 1-1. And that was a good fastball. Aoki gave up on it. And he falls behind 1-2. Anderson, better command since that first inning when he gave up the home run. But look, that's the case with a lot of starting pitchers. Aoki goes hacking and he comes up empty. 4th strikeout for Cody Anderson. I mean, how many times have we looked at a starting pitcher and said, boy, if you're going to get him, you better get him in the first inning.
Look, he had a fastball leak over the plate to one of the best home run hitters in the game. So what are you going to do? He took him out. He's settling in right now. And back-to-back strikeouts. He now has 4. Still hasn't walked anybody. But, you know, coming through the big part of the lineup with these guys, it's a matter of being under control and being able to locate your pitches. He's all right. Just keep zeros on the board now until the offense can figure out Wade Miley.
Seth Smith rips one right to Napoli, and that'll end the inning. Boy, this guy's hit everything in the series hard, but he doesn't have a whole lot to show for it. Mariners go in order, and Cody Anderson is now set down 7 straight. Francisco Lindor will try to lift the Indians' offense when we come back. Attention, get an order of garlic fries and walk into a room. I mean, people's heads will turn like, what is that smell? Those things are so good, but boy, are they aromatic.
Everybody will know that you have eaten some of them.
Jason Kipnis pulls it foul. 4th inning, tried down a pair. Kip grounded out to 3rd, his only time up. In the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. One of the few times I've seen him get to a 3-ball count.
Yes. To this point, yep.
And that's ball 4. The Indians have their leadoff man aboard for only the 2nd time tonight.
That's what you want to see.
Well, right now, Rick, Still early in the voting process, but the all-star starters in terms of the online and balloting that's going on right now. You got 3 Royals.
Yeah.
The departing David Ortiz, along with teammates Bogarts, Bradley. Manny Machado of Baltimore, who figures he'll be suspended for a while now after what happened tonight between Baltimore and Kansas City. I don't know if we've talked about that yet, but Machado got hit by a pitch from Yordano Ventura. He didn't like it, went out to the mound and whooped him good. The bench is emptied. It was a free-for-all. Both Ventura and Machado were tossed and facing likely suspensions.
Well,
I'm sure
baseball will look at it, no question. I think they have a little history of going back a ways, though.
Lindor fouled it off, and they whacked Clevenger on the helmet on the follow-through.
Yeah, he took one of those swings, and it was down in the zone, and he had to swing up on it, fouled it off the end, and watch the follow-through where he ends up hitting Clevenger in the helmet. That can happen sometime. He was down there to block it. Boy, oh boy, thank goodness for those helmets.
And again, Lindor goes down and just fights it off. Down low.
Yeah, we'll see how he messes around the strike zone with Lindor now after getting ahead 0-2.
Just off the dish.
Well, it's a tease pitch. He wants to go in off the plate. He's going to see if he can get those guys, the right-handers, to swing, you know, at a ball off the plate. And when you nibble at that ball, he's going to keep it off the plate all day long. He could afford to miss that pitch because it was a 1-2 count.
Runner goes, and it's low, and a throw down to second base in time. Oh, they nailed it.
Yeah, he had a good jump too, and he picked the right pitch on a changeup. So he'll get caught stealing for the first time. It was a really good throw, very accurate by Clevenger. Look at it, changeup down, picked the right pitch to run on, and it was just a perfect throw where he could tag Kipnis right on the arm before he hits the bag. So it went from 0-2 to 3-2.
And the leadoff man aboard erased. Down 2-0.
There's your walk.
Back-to-back walks, but now 1 out in the inning. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Look at the all-star shortstop candidates. And it's pretty tight.
Yeah, there's a lot of very good shortstops in this game nowadays. You're looking at them. Boy, something special. And any one of those guys can start. You know what I'm saying? They're all could be all-stars.
Bogarts, of course, had the lengthy hit streak and a lot of attention his way, rightfully so.
Well, it should be, but I think, you know, when they talk shortstops in the American League, all the attention goes to Correa and Lindor. Really, when you think about it, you forget about Bogarts and Elvis Andrus. Offensively, he's not in the category that those three are, though.
And even though he's not having the kind of year the others are having,
still a good player.
Alcides Escobar's pretty not too shabby.
Yeah, I know it.
Now the 1-0. Napoli tied up with a good fastball to even the count. Mike with that opposite field line drive hit to deep right his first time up. 53% of his hits have gone for extra bases. And you think about the home runs with Napoli, tied for 6th in the league with 14 homers. He's also hit 10 doubles and a triple to go along with it. That triple was one for the books too.
Well, you'll take doubles and dingers from Mr. Napoli.
Great change of pace, and you can see Napoli fooled by it 1-2.
Well, that's what he does, in and out, and he tries to get you off the plate inside for the right-handers, and then go back to that off-speed pitch away, and it's all a matter of just keeping him off balance, and he's done it to this point.
Gets him out. 2 away.
You know, elevated, when you get to 2 strikes, a lot of pitchers try to do this to Mike Napoli, and if you get it up there enough, he comes up empty. It's a pitch he will chase. He chases that one, comes up empty, and Miley gets his 2nd strikeout.
And now Carlos Santana with 2 down and that runner at first. Santana banged into a double play his first time up.
Miley has picked off 20 runners since the start of the 2012 season. But they've already had 1 thrown out here in this inning. I doubt you're going to try again.
What is the matter with you? That was right down the middle.
I don't know what game that guy's watching.
I know, that's Bill Welke's brother.
The 1-0 pitch, and Santana ropes it into right field. A nice piece of hitting. Going the other way, and that's 3 hits, all 3 hits opposite field knocks.
Yep, you cut that plate in half, and you're exactly right. Every hit has gone the opposite way. Santana stays on this one, and they're playing him to look at the 3 guys on the left, and they're just giving you that base hit. Why not take it? Well, you get a 2-out single now, and you have runners at first and second with 2 outs.
And now you've got the league's 2nd best hitter with runners in scoring position at the plate. Jose Ramirez, a .394 hitter when he has a runner in scoring position this year. His first at bat was a lengthy one due to the fact that he fouled a ball off of his left ankle, and he was down. And for a while, weren't sure if he was going to be able to continue. But now he comes up and he's got that shin guard protecting the inside of that left leg. He's even better with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. I think a lot of that goes back to the fact that he puts the ball in play.
Yeah. Here's what happened in his first at bat, right off the top of his foot. You can see how high that ball bounced off of there. Well, he was down for a while.
To third, and Seager had to back up on it, but he easily forces Santana to end the inning. No runs, a hit, 2 left, middle of the 4th, 2-0 Seattle.
Napoli and the rest of the tribe to the All-Star game. Voting is now open. Vote up to 35 times to help get your favorite Indians player to the Midsummer Classic in San Diego. Go to Indians.com. Vote to vote.
Leading off, second baseman, number 22, Robinson.
Cody Anderson has set down 7 Seattle hitters in a row. The only trouble he's had started with this guy in the first inning. Robinson Cano singled, and then Nelson Cruz followed with a 2-run homer. Hits are even at 3 apiece, but that one blast by Cruz has accounted for the game's lone runs. Curveball, strike 1. Robinson Cano is one of only 5 players at the position of second base to amass 2,000 hits, 450 doubles, 200 home runs, and 1,000 runs batted in. What's interesting to me is the other guys on that list. Robbie Alomar, Craig Biggio, Jeff Kent, all modern players, and Rogers Hornsby.
Yeah.
So you've got Rogers Hornsby way back, and then nobody, and then all of a sudden this barrage of players joining that select company as second baseman.
Right.
And it's understandable, I suppose, because for a long time second base was not an offensive-minded position.
Not at all. No.
You know, during your era, you wanted a guy to catch the ball, make the plays, but
defense came first, more so than offense. And there wasn't a lot of second basemen that could hit the ball out of the yard.
Cano, just that smooth stroke. And a line drive single to right. He's 2 for 2.
Yeah, he's the one that came around to score on Cruz's first inning homer, but it looked like a breaking ball upstairs. He put a down on the count, 1 and 2, and just put a single stroke on it.
Player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Nelson Cruz with a 4-year, $57 million deal with the Mariners. Now in his second year here in Seattle.
You know, truly one of the best power hitters in the game the last 5, 6, 7 years. When he was back in Texas, he was a power hitter, and they didn't sign him. Baltimore took that waiver where they signed him for $8 million, and there's the dinger back in the first inning, a fastball that he crushed. You know, Baltimore took that chance on him. Not a chance, I should say. They signed him for 1 year, and then he signed the free agent deal out here.
Fouled back out of play. Well, you know, look, the Indians have dealt with it with Marlon Byrd. Nelson Cruz tested positive for the PEDs and missed 50 games 3 years ago. Obviously, you know, he's a guy that would be certainly under scrutiny once you've tested positive. And for Marlon, it was his second offense, so you're talking about 162 games. The 2-1 pitch. That's fouled out of play. That home run by Cruz, only the 4th out of 14 that he has hit this year. While he's been a starting right fielder, most of his numbers that he's put up have been as the DH. And you said,
I wanted to get back to you on that before he hit that home run. Last year was the exact opposite, wasn't it? He was better when he was playing the outfield than DH.
Well, he goes down hacking here, and that's strikeout number 5 for Cody Anderson. And that stands to reason, especially for guys who have been position players, because a lot of guys, it takes some time to sort of understand what they need to do to perform as a designated hitter when you're used to going out there on the field. Now all of a sudden you're just sitting on the bench waiting for your next turn at bat.
Yeah.
It can be a little troublesome for guys.
Yes, you would think so. Guys, they think they worry so much about hitting, they feel they have to get a hit every time up instead of, hey, that's just, if you know yourself and you don't try to do too much, I would think that would be fine.
Now Kyle Seager. Seager was called out on strikes his first time up. He's picked up a hit in 31 of his last 40 games. And Cody evens the count.
You look at this Seattle team, and they are in the midst of playing a lot of games outside of their division. 21 of their next 24 games out of the Western Division.
He's hammered deep right. Monty Chisholm, makes that catch on the front edge of the track and heaves it back to first. But Cano gets back in time. 2 away.
Well, you can't hit it much better, but it was a nice play there by Chisenhall, catching it on the run, outstretched as he's going to the wall, and he puts enough on it. He throws behind him, but he wasn't going to get him because Cano wasn't going anywhere.
Rick, you mentioned Seattle's record, or Seattle, the fact they're playing a lot of games outside the division.
Right.
Since Terry Francona took over in Cleveland, the Indians have the 3rd best winning percentage against the Western Division in baseball. Not sure if there's anything to that, but they played really well against the West.
I remember a couple of years ago that they had a tremendous record against the West. This year, right now, the Indians just 4-6 at this point. We'll go down the coast and play 3 more this weekend.
65-44 against the West since 2013. And sometimes, because of the nature of the unbalanced schedule now, it might just come down to when you play those teams, because you're only playing them once at your place and once at their place. You catch them when they're scuffling, and you can clean up.
You know, they have some of their good players out of the lineup, but yeah, it could be just about anything. It's the luck of the draw, I guess.
Just missed. And it's 3-0 to Dae-Ho Lee with the left-handed hitting Adam Lind on deck. Lee had a lengthy at bat against Anderson his first time up, fouled a ton of pitches off. He takes one right down the pike, 3-1. Not a play. It was 3-0. Now it's a full count. Speaking of the Angels, where the Indians will head next, they've fallen 6 games under 500 after the Yankees beat them tonight in New York 6-3. Runner goes, payoff pitch, ball 4. So the inning continues for Adam Lind. Over in the Twin Cities, Minnesota is hosting Miami, and they're in the 11th inning, tied at 4.
The first walk by Anderson tonight.
By the way, Rick, in that Angels loss to the Yankees today, that was David Huff who took the loss for the Angels.
Wow, that's amazing. He's still around pitching, huh?
Adam Lind swings at the first pitch, pops it foul. Uribe gives it a look, can't get there. 4 rows deep.
Would Uribe try to get some nachos
No, I
there
think,
on
I
his
think he
plate?
said, "I'll be back at the end of the inning. Keep those warm."
It goes over there. Can't get the ball. Oh, that's a hot dog there. Oh, I'll take it.
2 on, 2 out. Indians down 2 runs. Cody Anderson trying to take care of Lynn, who shoots one high and deep and slicing foul and out of play. So he was behind Daeho Lee 3-0, worked the count full and then walked him. Now he's ahead of Adam Lynn 0-2. Trying to shoot a fastball outside. He couldn't get him to offer at it. Lynn fouled out to Uribe at third base his first time up. So it seems like a lot of the swings he's taken against Anderson, the ball is going to the left side. And a curveball. He was going to turn on that, but he fouled it off his foot. Robinson Cano single to start the inning, and then after 2 outs, Daeho Lee drew a walk on a 3-2 pitch. And the 1-2. Just in front of the plate. Good block by Jimenez.
Really was. That ball bounced right back out in front of the plate. Well, it sounded like it went off his chest protector. Yeah, thud. And that was well blocked. Nicely done by Jimenez.
Two on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. And a smash to short. Lindor stays with it. He'll have to go the long way, and he took too long. And he's safe at first.
Well, he went for the flip to Kipnis at second base, thinking he was going to be there, and I don't think he realized he was going to get it. And then by the time, it was just too late. Indecision. And Lynn, he doesn't get down the line all that well. The umpire almost screened him. Now, where usually you go ahead and you give it to Kipnis, but Kipnis looked like he was there in time. He went to flip it. Let's see what happened. Yeah, he just wasn't sure of himself. That goes as a base hit, but that is a mental error.
Well, it was one of those cases where he got caught in between. I think he was originally going to throw it to first.
And he should have.
And then he made the mistake of saying, well, maybe I can get the force here. And then it was
he
too
second-guessed himself out there. That's one where you just take it and you throw to first base with your initial reaction or your instinct. And he let that one get away. You see, let's see. He was going to first. Here comes Kipnis to second. He was going to flip it. And Kipnis was there. I don't know what happened. Just a little bit of indecision right there. And by the time he throws to first, he beats it out. You know, it goes as an infield single. The bases are loaded. Callaway came out to maybe just settle Cody Anderson down a little bit. It wasn't his fault. He should be out of the inning.
Now the bases are loaded for Steve Clevenger. Slide to left his only time up. Takes a strike.
Yeah, see if he can come back and pick his defense up.
Bullpen getting some action now for Cleveland. The 0-1. And the dirt gets away. Jimenez, though, keeps it close enough, and Cano goes back to third.
Well, once this ball gets away, I mean, I saw Cody come running in from the mound. He was veering down at third to see if he was coming, because I think the big man might have blocked the plate.
Yeah, Cano's not a real big guy. He might have taken a look at Cody Anderson.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I know.
Just missed outside with a fastball, and now Clevenger's ahead 2-1. Already 80 pitches for Cody Anderson, averaging 20 an inning. And that's after retiring the side in order twice. Hit to right. And that's trouble. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. It's 4-0 Seattle. And the indecision by Lindor proves costly here in the 4th, as Clevenger connects for a 2-out, 2-run double.
Yeah, on a changeup that he gets, and he pulls down the line. And you know what? That extra out is going to hurt the Indians here. It makes it a 4-0 ball game now. Just one little mistake. That's how the Indians got on last night. They came back on a couple of unearned runs back in the 4th inning. These won't go as unearned runs, but it's certainly 2 runs that they should not have on the board.
Clevenger's got a pretty good book going on Cody Anderson. Sean O'Malley struck out his first time up. And that's trouble too. That's going to score 2 more. 6-0 Seattle. O'Malley's going for 3. The throw. And he's safe with a 2-run triple.
He just kept hustling. He went to third. That pitch was elevated. And I think this is only the 4th triple hit in this ballpark all year. By the time Ramirez can get it, hits his cutoff man and throws it into Lindor in the tag. By the time he could pick it and apply it, was a little too late. And that one mistake is going to end the night for Cody Anderson. Unfortunately, not all his fault, but they opened up the doors and the floodgates, and there it is. Seattle 6-0 here in the 4th inning.
The Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen has been made, and Tom Gorzolani will be coming on for Cleveland when we come back. Steam coming out of the ears of Cody Anderson. Out of the ball game here in the 4th, down 6-0. This summer, make a difference. Bike the Cure. July 29th through the 31st. Velasano. Every dollar raised advances cancer research at Cleveland Clinic. Team up. Get involved at velasano.org. New pitcher for the Indians. Left-hander Tom Gorzolani. And he's got the top of the order. Nori Aoki, the 8th man to bat in the inning. To recap, the inning should have been over on a ground ball by Adam Lynn to Lindor. 4 batters ago, but fly ball center field. Rajay makes the catch, ends the inning. 4 spot for Seattle. They lead at 6-0. Indians baseball is brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. It's a 6-0 Seattle lead. Still a lot of baseball to be played here. See if the Indians can make a game of it yet. Chris Jimenez to lead off, and Wade Miley with the first pitch strike. Miley has been good at getting ahead of the Indians hitters for the most part. And whenever they've had a chance to do some damage, he's either gotten a ground ball, they threw a runner out trying to steal, or he's just made it a good pitch. Jimenez starts the inning off with a solid line drive base hit. Let's head back to the studios now for an in-game update. Here's Al Pawlowski. All right, thanks, Al. In that ball game, Todd Frazier went deep for the White Sox. That gives him 19 home runs on the year. Wow. And he is tied. No, Mark Trumbo homered tonight as well, so Trumbo has hit 20. So Trumbo has the lead over Frazier by 1 in the American League Home Run Derby.
Holy smokes.
Trumbo had a 424-footer. And that's 9-1 Orioles rout of Kansas City tonight. Broken bat liner caught by Cano. Or did he catch it?
No, he's out. He caught it and threw it down on the ground. He was going to try and turn a double play because he realized that Uribe didn't get out of the box, but he caught it and just, absolutely dropped it. The bat comes, blows up.
I mean, there were pieces of that every which direction.
Now you see he's got it in his glove, and now he's just going to say, okay. He realizes he's not running, and they're going to go for the double play, but no, it goes as a.
John Hirschbeck has been around too long to be fooled by that one. One down for Lonnie Chisenhall, throw to first, although Jimenez is not going anywhere.
Well, it's 6-0 game. You think the catcher's going to try and steal here?
Oh my goodness. Clevenger just flat out missed it, and it goes all the way to the backstop.
Ball, you know, may have had some run to it. That ball may have sailed on him and took off. If you watch it, I don't think it's straight. And he thought it was going to be the. Look at that ball. Oh, was that a foul ball? It looked like a foul ball, but
pass ball.
Okay, that ball took off on him. I'll tell you that. Almost looked like it just that Chisenhall fouled it off.
And the way he tried to catch it, he never turned the glove over. He tried to. I don't know. It just looked strange.
It's one of those pitches that just it kept running.
As you said, yeah, he didn't expect it to keep running like that.
No, he did not. It's funny because I watched earlier in the game when Clevenger threw a ball back to him. He dropped it, Miley did, and it rolled over to third base side. And he told him, "Hey, you cut it on me." Well, you know what? He's returning the favor.
That's right. Yeah. Now the 0-2. And Lonnie Chisenhall lifts one a fairly deep left, but not deep enough to do any kind of damage, and Jimenez unable to move, so there are 2 down. It goes back to what we said earlier. I mean, throwing a baseball is a bit of an inexact science. You might try to throw a little cutter and it ends up being a big cutter.
Yeah, that's true. That's what happened there.
Brian Dozier at a 2-run homer in the 11th. Minnesota beat the Marlins 6-4 at Target Field. So a couple of the Central Division teams walk off at home. The Tigers winning over already forgot who that the
Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto. Yeah. Rajai Davis, fly ball right field. Back is Cruz and makes the catch. Leadoff single, but no damage. Middle of the 5th. 6-0 Seattle.
For the best perks, including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. Today's Tribe Rewards TV code is Shaw. Visit Indians.com season tickets for complete details.
You saw Carlos Carrasco and Josh Tomlin, they're slated to pitch the next 2 games in this series for the Indians. Carrasco will go tomorrow night against Taijuan Walker. Tomlin will go Thursday night in the finale against Nathan Carnes. Corey Kluber will pitch the series opener down the coast in Anaheim Friday night. Seth Smith. This guy has hit the ball hard just about every single time he's been up.
Yes, he has.
And even the one time he got a base hit, he was trying to make it a double, and he ends up getting thrown out at second base on a replay review. Not surprising that he's made some loud outs, because in his last 12 games he's hit .323 with 8 driven in, 8 scored. So he's been swinging it well.
Well, when you have a guy behind you like Cano, you know, they don't want to mess around. They want to try and get you out, and he's a good fastball hitter.
Gorzelani with a sidearm slingshot in there. Strikes him out, 1 down. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Nelson Cruz with a 2-out 2-run homer in the first got it started. It stayed that way until the 4th. And then after a crucial defensive miscue, the Mariners blew it open. Steve Clevenger with a 2-run double. Sean O'Malley a 2-run triple.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing there is that, you know, they should have been out of the inning, so all 4 of those runs, they're going to be earned runs. Not that it matters because they scored anyway, but they got an extra out in the inning and took advantage of it.
Yeah, only because there are no mental errors given in the game of baseball.
I mean, by rights, still should probably be a 2-0 ball game.
Cano swings and misses, and it's 1-1. And look, baseball's a team game. We're not hanging it all on Lindor and the play he failed to make in the 4th. Pitcher's got to do his part. He's got to get a guy out there too.
Yes.
And Cody was unable to get out of the inning. 1-1 pitch. Low and away. You know, it's one thing you make a bad play and then you've got Cano coming up followed by Cruz. But that was the 8-9 hitters that did the damage ultimately in that inning for Seattle. Now the 2-1. A big bouncer to first, but foul. Rick, when you watch Cano hit, is his style of hitting, is it something that would be easy to teach, the way he loads up on that back leg and then just sort of rocks into the pitch?
Yeah,
or is that a hard timing mechanism to pick up?
I'll tell you what, I think he learned that swing all while he was in New York, and he's trying to stay inside the baseball. That time he certainly did not.
Back-to-back Ks for Gorzelani. 2 down here in the 5th.
I mean, he gives him the big slow breaking ball, and what happens, he didn't stay on that backside. He got way out in front, and everything just gave way. So out comes Gorzelani. He went in his inning, got 3 hitters out.
Strikes out a pair. Timeout in Seattle as Jeff Manship will be the next man up for the Cleveland Indians. shot from across the Puget Sound, downtown Seattle, Washington. Hey, Arch, the U.S. Open's coming soon to Fox. June 19th is the final round on Father's Day. FS1 will have the coverage beginning on June 16th. You can watch the whole thing on Fox Sports Go. The 116th U.S. Open at Oakmont Country Club.
Yes, indeed.
Just outside of Pittsburgh. Nelson Cruz waves at a breaking ball low and away. Deep center, Rajay gonna watch it go. Second home run of the night for Nelson Cruz, and now he's got 15, one behind his teammate Robinson Cano as he moves up the American League home run leaderboard in a hurry.
Well, he picked on a fastball today off Cody Anderson. This is going to be the slider of Jeff Manship, and went to straightaway center. It's going to be our Yellowwood bringing the lumber, and he brought it and went straight out, straightaway center. Makes it a 7-0 ball game.
th time in the career of Nelson Cruz he's hit at least 2 homers in a game. And now Kyle Seager, who is 0 for 2 on the night, at the plate with 2 down in the inning. And a little low. Fastball, 2-0.
They really play that big shift for Seager. He likes to pull the ball, a slightly open stance.
Downstairs.
He walked him.
Yes, he did. Inning continues for Dae-Ho Lee. And a foul back out of play. And that missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the dirt. Good block by Jimenez. Dae-Ho Lee drew a walk and scored in the 4th. And he smashes one up the gut. Nice diving stop by Lindor to Kipnis for the inning-ending force. And we'll head to the 6th with Seattle now in front 7-0 on a solo smash to Nelson Cruz, his 2nd home run of the night. Seattle, the Mariners lead at 7-0 as we go to the 6th inning, and Jason Kipnis will lead off for Cleveland. Kipnis grounded out in the 1st. He walked. He was thrown out trying to steal in the 4th. He's going to try to bunt to beat the shift. But fouled it off.
Well, this is something that Miley is used to. As a matter of fact, they've posted a 5-0 record in his last 8 starts. They've won 7 of his last 8 starts, but they do him a big favor. They score a lot of runs. Coming into this game, they had 57 runs of support in the last 8 games.
Deep center, back is Aoki, and he runs it down.
He can tack on another 7 today. And they support him well.
And Francisco Lindor with 1 out here in the 6th. Now Lindor has been just a tremendous player, but sometimes because he makes the game look easy and because he's played so well, we maybe tend to forget that he still is yet to play a full season in big leagues.
He's right around that full season because he was up last June, you know. So yeah, it is. It's amazing. He's still going to learn a lot, and he's human, man. He's 21 years old. You got to make mistakes.
Officially his 155th game in the big leagues, so just shy of a full season of action. 2 down here in the 6th inning. And look, even when you've been around the game a long time, you're still going to make mistakes. Not like you're going to be perfect, but that's a play that I'm sure he'll take it to heart. He'll take it very hard. He's very hard on himself. He wants to be, he strives to be perfect.
My question would be, you know, you were going to first initially. What changed your mind to, you know, maybe flip it to second base before having to return and throw to first? But you know, that's one play they could. It opened up the door. They already had a 2-0 lead. The Indians only have 4 hits. They don't have a run on the board, so. They were helped last night by 2 unearned runs in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and give Seattle credit because they took advantage of it.
Yeah,
just as the Indians did last night.
Absolutely. That's what you have to do in this game. You get extra outs. You give good teams extra outs. They take advantage of it. And you know, they had the 2-0 lead, and you know, Anderson made a couple of pitches up in the zone, and boy, I'll tell you what, the bottom of the lineup got him. And they put a 4 spot on. They added another one after that, and that's how this game is, man. You make a mistake.
Napoli goes down swinging for the 2nd time tonight. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. Middle of the 6th, 7-0 Seattle. Out to a 7-0 lead tonight. And in the bottom of the 6th inning, it's the bottom third of the order for the M's against Jeff Manship. Adam Lynn goes after a breaking ball, strike 1. Just missed low with a fastball. 1-1. Smashed up the middle. And Adam Lynn leads it off with a single here in the home half of the 6th. Well, let's go back to that 4th inning if you missed it. Adam Lynn with a smash to short, should have been the inning-ending play, but Lindor just he second-guessed himself, and what ensued was ugly. Steve Clevenger, with the bases loaded, knocked in 2. The next man up, Sean O'Malley, tripled the left center, driving in 2 more. And it went from a 2-0 game to a 6-0 game on 2 swings of the bat, and that was it for Cody Anderson.
Yes, indeed. They added another solo shot last inning, and they just start this inning off with a base hit, their 9th of the ball game. They have a double, triple, 2 homers, and 5 singles.
Double play ball to Kipnis. They go to Lindor for 1, back to first. 2 for 1. If you're a baseball fan, then you need the all-new Fox Sports app. Highlights, interviews, injury updates, everything. Download it in the iOS App Store, Google Play, or visit foxsports.com/app. 2 away for Sean O'Malley. He wasn't even supposed to start the game or be in the game tonight, but when Ketel Marte was scratched late this afternoon with neck spasms, O'Malley got the start, and of course he delivered the back-breaking 2-run triple in that 4th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Make him throw strikes, Sean. Don't play in the jump.
Two on O'Malley. A little bit outside and a full count. Payout pitch is low, ball 4. Top of the order in Aoki.
Second walk of the night for Manship.
Broken bat bouncer to Kipnis. And he'll throw him out. So we've played 6 in Seattle. Indians down 7. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by the Injury Lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. By Ford, built Ford tough. And by Subway, fresh is what we do. Wow, how about that for a gorgeous sunset?
Nice and purple, isn't it?
Carlos Santana leading off and smokes one foul. Santana, Ramirez, Jimenez here in the 7th for Cleveland. A little bit low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball routine rolling to short. Show us your bat flip, and you can find your way into the All-Star game in San Diego. Post a video of your bat flip to @FoxSports with a hashtag Fox Bat Flip Contest now through June 26th. Go on to foxsports.com/batflip contest to get all the information. Jose Ramirez takes a strike. I can hear the older generation groaning right now.
But as far as the bat flip goes,
we want our youngsters to.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen stuff on the internet where kids in high school and stuff throw their bats. One kid threw it all the way to his bench.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, yeah, let's see your best bat flip until someone gets conked in the head.
For entertainment purposes only.
Yes,
don't do this in the ball game. Just in the backyard.
You'll have to have a disclaimer on it.
Yeah. Jose Ramirez with a liner right at Seager, who snares it for out number 2. That was a bullet. Nice play at the hot corner.
Yes, it was. I mean, he went down and that ball got on him before he realized it. And boy, oh boy, he catches it and then I'm going to get down. Stays in his glove, but goes as a routine out.
Let's go down to Andre. He's lonely down there.
Yeah, I'm a little lonely. You know, Chris Jimenez, we were talking yesterday before the game. He loves hitting in his ballpark. Played here for a little while. He says the backdrop to him is the best in major leagues. He says, look how dark it is. You can pick the ball up. And even catching at times. He says you need a background like this. He says in certain parks, trees move and different things move. And he goes, it's hard to pick up the ball. Here, he goes, you can see it right out of the hand of the pitcher.
Boy, and it is jet black. I mean, when you see it right back up there, and it doesn't matter if you're a left-handed side armor, like they talk about Chris Sale or something, you're still going to see it coming out of the black.
And a hit the mound and enables Cano to stay with it. Sidearm flip. And the Indians go 1-2-3. And Wade Miley is just humming along. He's retired 9 in a row. Yeah, Wade Miley's getting all kind of hugs in the dugout. I would assume his night is over.
Sure.
Pitched a great ball game.
Well, coming off a start where he was just crushed in his last start. 12 hits and 9 runs in 4 2/3 innings. Comes right back and pitches a good one for him. So, yes, they are thrilled. And, you know, in the last 3 games, Iwakuma pitched their last game in Texas before they came home. And then you had Paxton last night who pitched a good game. So, you know, they've had 3 good starts in a row now.
Tommy Hunter, 13th appearance of the year. He's got 2, 3, 4 due up in the Seattle lineup. Indians have made some defensive changes. Michael Martinez has checked into the ball game. He's in center field. Rajay has gone over to left field. Probably giving Jose Ramirez a little time to
that foot.
Get that foot on ice.
Absolutely.
That ankle. Seth Smith, 1 out of 3. Takes ball 1 up high. There's Michael. Now 1-0. Just inside. By the way, we were talking about the bat flip promo.
Yeah.
My wife and I were down at the famous market on Pike Street today, down at the fish place, and we saw him flipping the fish.
Boy, yeah. How about the guys that can catch those things?
I don't know how they catch those things, Arch.
A little slippery.
I'm thinking to myself, how don't they? I don't know.
It's a beautiful sight.
Yeah, they're fun, and they have so much fun doing it. They draw crowds.
Well, it's a show, and it's in its own right. I mean, people come down here to the Pike Street Market, and it's right on the water. And I mean, you see some of the freshest fish coming in from the Sound. It's spectacular.
Most of us who enjoy seafood or a nice piece of salmon for dinner, I had no idea how enormous a king salmon fish is until you see it there in the market.
Yeah, I know.
Now the 2-1. And Smith with a line drive. Caught by Uribe. No! In and out of the glove of Juan Uribe. And Seth Smith.
He's probably saying thank you.
He said, finally, I got something to show for hitting all these balls hard.
I think he envisioned coming out of that batter's box, it's going to be right in his glove. And I thought it was. It looked like it was right in his glove, but it went off the end of it and went out into left field.
Yep.
He did get a little piece. He was about 3 inches away from getting it into the webbing for an out, but Smith catches a break and gets his second hit of the night. So that is hit number 10 for the Mariners.
And up comes Robinson Cano, 2 for 3, 2 singles, 2 runs scored. I guess the thing about Cano in that rock that he has in his stance is you would think that when he rocks forward that all his weight would shift forward, but it doesn't. It's almost an illusion.
Well, he just wants to make sure that's his timing mechanism as he gets back and just stays on it to see the ball.
One down as Davis squeezes that. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Nelson Cruz has done some damage here tonight. A 2-run home run in the first inning that sort of set the tone for Seattle. And then he tacked one on, a solo blast with 2 down in the 5th to the big part of the yard. And now he's got 15 home runs, 1 behind Robinson Cano. Right up there among the top 5 in the league.
Let's hope we can get out here in the next 2 days without him hitting anymore, because when he gets going, he can hit in bunches.
We've seen it. Good pitch by Tommy Hunter. Fastball with a little movement. One ball, 1 strike. Fastball took off on him, up to 97 miles an hour, but way out of the zone. rolls it to third, and it's a foul ball. Slicing out of play, right side. Well, the Nationals beat up the White Sox 10-5, the final score at US Cellular tonight. Tigers won in a walk-off, so did the Twins. The Royals got hammered by Baltimore, and the Indians suffering the same fate here in Seattle. So the Central Division still very tight.
Well, yeah, you look at it, and it's between what, 3.5 games for 4 teams.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, yeah, because Chicago lost. Yeah, 3.5 games. Boy, that's. Did he go?
No.
He did not on the appeal. Well, in that Baltimore game against Kansas City tonight, Yordano Ventura drilled Manny Machado. Manny said, "Yo, you hit me on purpose." So here we go, and boom, he lands a right hand to Yordano Ventura. Bench is empty.
Almost like, I don't know if he got him cleanly. He was just out of the way, but there's got to be a history that goes back here. The one thing I like, Machado, he didn't, you know what, he went out himself. You're going to do that. You set up at home plate and you start yelling, then everybody else gets involved. But boy, oh boy, again, you're going to have you know, some suspensions, some fines.
You know what?
Who's at the center of it? It's Ventura.
Yeah. But you're right, though, and you've stood by your stance for years on this, and that is, don't chirp and turn this into a fiasco, which is what happens when you do. If you have a problem and you can't deal with it, then go with it.
Yeah,
otherwise, go to first base and let's
drop
go.
your bat, go to first base.
Caught by Kipnis, and a double play ends the inning. 7 on the books in Seattle. Mariners 7, Indians nothing. Copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Pretty night here in Seattle, Washington. This time of year, it's just gorgeous up here.
And the last few years we've come at the either end of May or early June, and it usually is very, very pretty here. When you get a nice sunny day, it's about as pretty as any place.
Yeah, even when it's warm like it has been the last couple of days, it's so refreshing. You walk out of the hotel, you head down toward the water, you just feel like you can fill your lungs up so easily.
And then you just happen to take a look at Mount Rainier in the foreground. It looks fake.
Right out my window.
Yeah,
it's like, wow.
It looks fake.
First time I looked out there, are those clouds? No, that's Mount Rainier.
Yeah.
Juan Uribe will lead off. He is 0 for 2. Now first pitch strike. A couple of changes for Seattle. Luis Sardinas takes over. And shortstop, and then O'Malley, who was at short, has gone out to right field. And Nelson Cruz gets the last 2 innings off. One ball, one strike. Two and one. Tampa Bay and their 4-game win streak snapped. They were shut out by Arizona 5-0.
Zach Greinke staying hot. This time he won at home.
High pop on the infield. Third baseman Kyle Seager says, "I'll take it." One away. You know, Wade Miley started this game. He was good from the outset.
Yeah, he moved his pitches around, used both sides of the plate, and really the Indians, they had 4 hits off him. 3 came the other way, and then the last one it was Jimenez. He hit it right back up the middle, so they stayed on it, and if they didn't, he put it in play. So he came back and pitched very well.
Lonnie Chisenhall just broke up the shutout. Gone deep into the lower deck in right field. That's his 2nd home run of the year and his 2nd hit of the night. He has doubled, and now he has homered for the Indians. And he stays locked in at the plate. He came in hitting .359 in his last 13 games. So he's been swinging the bat well for Cleveland. And he's not just flaring the ball and flicking it the other way. He's barreling it up and hitting it with authority.
Well, that's right in his wheelhouse. He went down, and that ball jumped off the barrel head of his bat. So they're on the board. It's now a 7-1 game for Chisenhall, his 2nd home run.
Rajay Davis 0 for 3 tonight. Takes up and away 2-0. High pop, playable. In comes the left fielder Seth Smith. Just inside the line, 2 away. Up comes Jason Kipnis. You know, that 4th inning, you look back at that 4th inning, top and bottom. Key turning point. Kipnis walked to start the inning. Leadoff man aboard. Then he got thrown out trying to steal. And then Lindor walked behind him. If Kipnis doesn't try to steal there and you get back-to-back walks, now you get 2 on, nobody out. Interesting to see maybe how that inning may have played out differently for the Indians. It was the one time they might have had Miley back on his heels a little bit. He gets out of it. And then the bottom of the fourth is when Seattle blew it open with the defensive miscue, and they took advantage and scored 4 times. Now the 1-1 from Benoit. And Jason pops it to center. Back is Aoki. And the inning is over. Lonnie Chisenhall breaks up the shutout with a solo smash to deep right field. 7-1, middle of the 8th. The game brought to you by Mazda. Try to get to Miley early. The Indians did not. They could not get to him at all. Shutout baseball over 7 innings. And for Anderson tonight, I don't know. It was just he gave up the 2-run homer, and then he pitched really well, retired the next 7 in a row. And then that 4th inning, he should have been out of the inning, but he couldn't pick up his defense, and it just got away from him.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It got away from him.
Dan Otero to pitch the 8th for Cleveland. 5th Indians pitcher to work here tonight. Daeho Lee 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored, leading off. Tyler Naquin has come into the ballgame. He's in center field. Michael Martinez moves from center field into second base, taking over for Jason Kipnis. To the outside corner for a strike. Strike 3 call. 1 down in the bottom of the 8th. Pat O'Brien, play of the game. This was it. Lynn with a smash to short. Lindor, a little indecision.
2 outs.
So costly. With 2 outs, should have been out of the inning. But he just wasn't sure what he wanted to do with the ball. And everybody's safe. They're loaded up, and the next man drove in 2. The guy after that drove in 2 more, and it was ball game.
Kept the inning going. One little play. They should have been out of it. They weren't. But that's where they had the big damage. They did score 2 in the bottom half of the first. They added 1 after that.
Fly ball left field. Davis. 2 down. Clevenger 1 for 3, 2-run double in that 4th inning. You know, last night, if you're Seattle, you're talking about that play in the 4th inning.
Yeah.
Again, the 4th inning, where the catcher, Iannetta, dropped a throw from left field. Santana would have been out, and might have been a different ball game.
Yeah, because Ramirez moved up to third base after that ball got by him, and that's how they scored their 2nd run.
Right. So maybe they don't score in that inning at all, and who knows? It's a
different ball game.
Yeah. Coming into this series, these two teams had almost identical records. I mentioned that last night. Indians, if they fail to rally, will fall to 32-25, and Seattle will be 32-26. Two of the top scoring teams in the American League. And I think, look, most people would look at that and say, well, that's mildly surprising to think that Cleveland and Seattle would be two of the higher run scoring teams in the league.
Yes. That's the way it turned out last year, and you still have 2 games to go.
But both teams have put themselves at least in position here a third of the way through the season. Yeah. They're right there in their respective divisions. Indians on top, and the Mariners right behind Texas in the West. Cuts, but he's late. And a slow chopper up the first baseline foul. I think, Rick, what's going to be interesting now, we got just a little more than a month to go before the All-Star break. And then right after that is the trading deadline. And who's going to make the big move? Pull off maybe a trade that perhaps could tip the balance, you know?
Well, you know, some teams wait right till the deadline. Other teams may try and get out in front of the curve. The White Sox made their trade for Shields. He's going to end up pitching for him tomorrow night. You know, they feel that's the part that they need. We'll have to see.
And historically, as we've noted in the past, very few of those deadline deals are real difference makers. So do you want to overpay? Do you want to give away maybe a piece that could help your team for the long term and down the road for a potential short-term fix? You know, that's that tough call. The fans say, go for it, get that guy, go out and do it, but at what cost?
Exactly. Do you want to give up any piece of your future and in hopes you're going to win it now? I mean, if it works, it's great. But it works less than it does.
To right field. It's going to drop for a hit.
Yeah, he had to stay back. I don't know if these lights got to him or he was going to run it into it. If he sees it, these are these new LED lights they have here. You know, you come in. Watch, he has to stop. The runner's off and running, and he stops. If he continues to come, or maybe he just realized he wasn't going to catch the ball.
I think that was it, because I think he realized if I dive and don't get it.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I know
it's already 7-1.
I just saw him pull up, and maybe he realized he wasn't going to get there before he could catch it and just gave up on him, which is fine. But these lights, we heard the players talk about them in Houston. They have the same kind of lights here that can be awfully bright.
2 outs, nobody on base, then a walk and a hit. Slowly tap. Otero will go to first. And we'll go to the ninth. 7-1 Seattle. Well, Alan Jensen, as you know, Mom always said there'd be days like this, and it's just one of those days for the Indians. It's been all Seattle. They've had all the fun. They scored early, and they pulled away with that 4th inning, and the Indians just couldn't get anything going against Wade Miley offensively tonight. And Francisco Lindor leading off the 9th inning against Steve Cishek. Broken bat. Long throw, and Lindor beats it out for an infield single.
And that ball looked like he served it as like with a tennis racket.
It
I know
sure
it
did.
It broke the bat. It went off the end of the bat, and you can see why the way Cishek throws that pitch. But it was in slow motion. It looked like it had spin on it, so that enabled Lindor to get down the first baseline to beat it out. There's nothing really Sardinas could do on that play except wait for it to hit. Watch how he reaches for it, and that ball he picked up off the ground. There goes a piece of his bat.
You're exactly right, though. It's like in tennis when you go like with that backhand and you kind of chop down on it. You get the backspin. That ball hit and just checked up, but the bat ended up in a few different pieces.
Yeah, it went for a hit, though, for Lindor.
15 love.
Yeah, that's right.
Napoli singled his first time up. A little low. 3 balls and a strike. Carlos Santana waiting on deck. Bullseye, full count. Starts it up, 1 away. Our AT&T high-speed replay. Indians' only run of the night coming on Lonnie Chisenhall's long home run to deep right field off Joaquin Benoit in the 8th inning. And Lonnie continues to swing the bat very well. Hits now in his last 33 at bats for Lonnie. And Santana with a high drive, deep right, but not deep enough. O'Malley on the front edge of the track now comes forward. 2 down. Tomorrow night, we're right back at it. And Carlos Carrasco goes for Cleveland against Taijuan Walker. Alan Jensen will start it off at 9:30 with Indians Live. Rick and I, along with Andre, will be here at 10 o'clock with the first pitch. And a foul right back by Michael Martinez, getting his first bat of the night. Pitch right there.
Change up. Something off speed.
Yeah.
He had a good cut at the first fastball, and then he saw that and he pulls the string on him.
And the 0-2, swing and a miss, and the Mariners win it to even the series at a game apiece. Seattle snaps a 4-game losing streak to go to 32-26, and they stop the Indians' 6-game win streak as the Indians fall to 32-25. Indians will stay in first place in the American League Central Division by 2.5 games in front of Kansas City and Detroit. But this was a ball game that, you know, Seattle, look, they're a good ball club. You knew sooner or later they were going to snap out of their funk, and they did it tonight as Wade Miley gets the win. He pitched well, and he goes to 6-2. Cody Anderson gets the loss. He's now 1-4 on the year.
Well, you know what? They caught a break, and they took advantage of it. And then they opened it. They blew this game wide open. It could have been a low-scoring, close game, a lot like last night's. It was not. They took advantage of it. The Indians didn't score anyway. One swing of the bat was it, and that's not going to win many games. So Seattle comes back. They even the series. We got 2 big ones to go.
7-1 is the final. We'll have some final thoughts from Safeco right after this.